Good morning. Thank you very much for coming to the service. There is a Japanese saying, 工房筆を選ばず. It's a very short proverb. That means that the master kobo, he doesn't need to choose brush for the calligraphy. So he can write good characters always with any brushes. So that meaning literally means that he doesn't need to pick. He doesn't need to be picky. He doesn't need to choose brush for calligraphy. With any brush, he can write good calligraphy. That is the meaning. But this, I thought about saying very short, but there is more meaning. The first, I thought about the opposite. How about beginner? This talk about professional, they don't need to choose tools. Any tools, they can do good job. But I thought, how about the beginners? This opposite. Beginners need to choose the right equipment, right tool. That is, I thought about another meaning. And another thought about this saying is that there are some levels about professional. Even professional, there are some level. I imagine about photographer. Photographer, there are some makers, Canon, Nikon, or Nikon, or Sony. So depending on which maker you are using, or the professional maybe says that, oh, I can use Canon, but I don't know about Nikon. That kind of level. Or I do take a photo with many camera, so I can do whatever the camera, I can do a good job. That kind of level. But the most high level, the highest level is that a tool. That is talking about the highest level is that he doesn't need to choose a tool for photography. So the Master Kobo is actually the founder of Shingon Mission, and he is Kobo Daishi is a master, the Grand Master title, and his name is Kukai. He brought to the esoteric Buddhism to Japan about 1200 years ago. So long ago, he went to China, and then he studied Buddhism, and brought back Buddhism with sutras, with statues about 1200 years ago. So he's known as Master, Grand Master Kobo. Over here, people say Odaishi-san, 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 Odaishi-san. So that is Kobo Daishi. And the Kobo Daishi is well known as a calligrapher, very famous because he is good. So there is another saying that even the Master Kobo make a mistake. That is Kobo mo fude no ayamari. So even the Master Kobo make a wrong character. That is a literal meaning. So there is some things about Master Kobo because he was so well known about good calligrapher. So anyway, that's very short saying, but there are two opposite ways. And this two opposite way is what the Buddhism teaching. Teaches the middle way, or middle way. What is middle way is like September is always nice weather because it's not too hot and it's not too cold. So the best condition is it's a middle way. And what is good food? Good food is always not too sweet, not too hot. It should be always middle. So this is what Buddhism teaching. The best, what is best is actually the middle way. It's always in the middle way. So this is what Buddhism wants to teach, wants to share the idea. And middle way, in other words, is well balanced, well balanced. There is a light and shadow, and every truth has two aspects, that is positive side and negative side. So even though negative event, negative truth, there is always positive understanding. So that we need to understand positive and negative, and that is what Buddhism wants to see. So there is an example that who founded Jodo mission about 800 years ago. He was once to the Shikoku Island. Exile at that time was the most heaviest penalty. And Japan, once very peaceful time, there was no death sentence. They didn't have a death sentence. So instead of sentence death, they exile people to the far away, to the island. So that is a Heian period. And Kamakura period, actually, they restarted, the sentence death. But the Heian period, end of Heian period, there is no sentence death. And exile, most heaviest penalty that one had. And Honen was very well known. And the old traditional Buddhism, very jealous about Honen. Honen was very think about everybody to be saved. And he taught a very simple way that calling Buddha name, Namu Amida Butsu, can save people. Everybody can practice. At the same time, everybody can achieve a goal. So that is what Honen Shonin taught. So many very jealous, and then they talked about, oh, that is not true Buddhism, and he was eventually exiled to the Shikoku Island. But even though the heavy penalty he received, he had a very positive understanding, and he said, even though I was exiled, this is what I wanted. For a long time, I dreamed to travel far to spread a teaching of Buddhism. And this exile gave me a chance travel far. And I'm here Buddhism because of exile. So that is a very positive understanding that Honen Shonin had. And same is true to any person, very positive. So I can think of Mr. Konosuke Matsushita. Mr. Konosuke Matsushita, he is a founder of the Panasonic. Panasonic, the company everybody knows, worldwide company. But at that time, the company is called National. And of course, war happened. And the National is connected to the nationalist, so no good. So that's why they changed the name Panasonic. But after he made a success, huge success, establishing a huge company, and then later he was asked, secret, what made you success? What is the secret of success to found a big company like this? And Mr. Konosuke Matsushita pointed out three things. I was poor because I was not smart. I didn't go to school. And I was sick. Very negative. I was poor. I didn't go to school. And I was sick. I was not healthy. But he had a very positive understanding. Because I was poor, I wish to be richer. Because I didn't go to school, I wish to study. I studied a lot because I didn't go to school. And because I was not healthy, able to ask help for other people. I was able to ask help for other people. So that Mr. Matsushita taught about very negative understanding, a negative fact, but he took it very positively. And that is the source of success. And our denomination or all religion talk about heaven or life after this life. And this is, I think, two understanding. One is end of the body, no more body. But another understanding is always up to us. What we see death is actually all up to us. It can be a beginning of new life. It's a beginning of no more suffering, no more pain. It's a beginning to the heaven, beginning to the Buddha way. That is all up to us. So even though the very negative fact we are facing or negative uh, uh, situation we might fall, but there is always a good, positive understanding, and that we need. So death, when we face death, death can be a beginning of a new life. That we up to us. And by having this very positive thought about death, then we can live, no matter how bad the situation, we can live strongly. So that is the thought about today. So today we page 12. Sorry, starting from Koge. I aspire for my body to be as pure as an incense burning. I aspire for my mind to be like a light of wisdom. With every thought, I burn with incense of discipline and meditation. To dedicate myself to the past, present, and future Buddhas of the incarnation. I wholeheartedly take refuge in the Buddhist, who eternally dwell in the land of encouragement. I wholeheartedly take refuge in the Dharma. Reverently, Koloa warm honored ones to enter this sacred place. We reverently Koloa and guided one to enter this sacred place. We reverently Koloa for the 10 directions to enter this sacred place. The humble actions I have done in the past are all derived from my ignorant greed, hunger, and disease. Falling on my conduct, words, and thoughts, I now repent them all. Dearly. As a first profound and wondrous Dharma, even after 100,000 million years, which Victor Kuzme found, we now hear, receive, and uphold it, where we understand the true message of the Tathagata. See, Among all who have gathered, Buddha always expounds the Dharma like a lion's roar, making offerings to all the Buddhas and becoming endowed with all gifts of God. With a vow and wisdom perfectly, Buddha becomes a hero for the three worlds. That the unintended wisdom of the Buddha that reaches and shines upon all. I vow that the power of my birth and wisdom will be equal to yours, most venerable one. These vows are real. Make the whole universe tremble with joy. And from the sky, all the celestial beings will rain down better than wondrous Missionary is transferred equally was immediately thinkers in the world. Then 68, 68,68 stage, Santonda. According to chanting Santonda, which provinces? Nam Myoho We had a Hawaii marathon. I'm going to see. Oh, I went to Soto. That's one city. Every year, I don't know the name. Every year, we want a half marathon. And then they do the Japanese runner. It's a full marathon. Half marathon, the runner is fast. I went to see. Our mayor was running. Actually walking. We have requested. Thank you very much. Hi. Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah. So Shingon is at that time, conventional time is not so major street. Yeah. So it was okay. Yeah. So the especially the Mount here is actually Tendai was stronger. So Shingon and Tendai was two major streams in the early Buddhism in Japan. About 1200 Shingon and Tendai became strong. Mountain, entire mountain is so many temples. They even had soldiers, so they got the power to control. So at the time, that is Tendai. Yeah. Also, in a few years, because Honen Shonin had some fun, political people, so he was able to come back to Kyoto. Yeah. So that's how he passed away in Kyoto. So then, Honen Shonin had so many student, disciple, and one of the students called Shinran Shonin. Shinran Shonin was exiled to Echigo, in Niigata. It's a very snowful country. It snows a lot. So he was also exiled to Niigata. I'm from Niigata. So the exile place I was.